Kia ora koutou. Day 25. Wow. Today the sun is shining again. So welcome. Welcome to some trauma sensitive yoga and a little bit about myself. I'm trained by the Centre for Trauma Embodiment in Boston and therefore certified to deliver a trauma sensitive yoga program. I'm offering this online during the period of lockdown Rahui, and hoping you'll find this helpful. Sorry, I was just distracted. I could see lots of people walking down my street. I think that's the nature of people out for a walk in their local area. There are more people on the street. I'll bring myself back here to the yoga, to my yoga, to your practice. And today I will once again offer a slightly longer resting form. So we'll practice probably for about maybe 20 minutes. And so I'll offer this practice for about 20 minutes. You're welcome to opt in and opt out at any time. Sometimes when we practice yoga, it brings up feelings, and sometimes we may need to choose to move to a resting or opt out for a short time. And that's always okay. So in your own time, maybe taking a look around your bubble or your space and making a choice. Do you want to practice on a chair or on the floor? It's always a choice. So maybe taking a look, noticing where you are. If you don't have a mat, you're always welcome to use a rug or a towel. I'm going to start standing and then move the forms to the floor and have that extended resting form. So when you're ready, perhaps finding your expression of standing or seated mountain. Standing mountain. You might like to shift your weight from your heels to your toes. Perhaps finding where you're most stable. And maybe you might like to shift your weight from your toes to your heels. And breathe in. If you're interested, maybe moving your knees, perhaps bending and straightening. In your own time, you may like to bring your torso over your ankles. If you're seated, maybe bring your shoulders over your seat. If you're standing, perhaps bringing your shoulders in line with your ankles. And then in your own time, perhaps standing tall, maybe bringing your head to balance on your shoulders and breathing. Maybe noticing that your breath is with you. If you're interested, perhaps turning your palms out. If you like, taking a few moments in stillness. Perhaps noticing that you're breathing. Maybe noticing where you make contact with the ground, up to a nuku. And it's quite normal not to feel sensation. When you're ready, you may want to explore moving your shoulders. So one option could be bringing your fingertips to your shoulders and moving your elbows, perhaps forward and back. You can move in your own pace. Another option could be lifting and lowering. You could alternate it, or if you like, moving your elbows in circles. So a few options there. Sometimes if you're not sure, you could try each and see what works for you. If you're moving your elbows, there's a possibility you might feel some sensation in your shoulders, and it is only a possibility. Maybe moving your elbows, finding your way back to your neutral in your own time. And if you like, moving your head and neck. So how fast or slow you move is up to you. So you may like to lift your chin, perhaps looking up. In your own time, maybe tucking your chin, bringing your chin to your midline and looking down. So in your own way, maybe moving your chin. If you're moving your chin, you might feel sensation in your neck. Maybe in your neck. Another option for moving your chin could be to bring your chin to your shoulder. Maybe bringing your chin to your left shoulder. And breathing. And in your own time, moving your chin to your right shoulder. Knowing how fast you move is up to you. Perhaps noticing that you're breathing. And in your own time, guiding yourself back to your neutral. And if you like, moving your arms. So one way of moving your arms could be to lift and lower. And you're welcome to do that in whatever way you like. One option could be to bring your hands to touch above your head and perhaps bringing your hands to your side. If you're lifting and lowering your arms, you might like to coordinate your breathing with your movement. Always knowing there's no right or wrong way to breathe here. Your breath is always with you. You may be lifting and lowering your arms and breathing. Moving in your own pace, finding your way back to your neutral in your own time. And if you like, moving to explore a forward fold. So a forward fold could be bringing your hands to your upper legs, possibly bringing your spine or your back, torso, parallel to the ground. That's a choice. So maybe bring your hands to your knees or your upper legs, perhaps leaning forward. Another choice could be to bring your elbows to your knees. If you like, tucking your chin and perhaps moving your knees. Knowing at any time you can move in and out of your form. If you're seated, you may like to bring your hands to your upper legs, maybe leaning forward. Or perhaps bringing your elbows to your knees and leaning forward. If it's available, maybe bringing your hands closer to your feet and breathing. So in your own time, exploring leaning forward, possibly moving in and out of your form. Maybe noticing that your breath is with you, ebbs and flows, comes and goes. And breathe in. Then if you're interested, perhaps moving back to upright. If you like, raising your arms. Then bringing your hands to the ground. If you like, stepping back with one of your feet. Perhaps dropping your knee. Maybe moving into what we sometimes call a lunge. And breathing. You might feel some sensation through your abdomen, your torso. And breathing. If you're seated, what you may like to do is move to the side of your chair and perhaps dropping your knee and breathing. Like raising your hand at your side or possibly out in front. So in your own time, exploring your lunge. And in your own time, you may like to move to kneeling, perhaps exploring a resting form. If you like, bringing your forehead to rest on your hands, possibly sitting back on your ankles. And another option could be to extend your arms. So that's a choice, maybe extending your arms. And you might feel some sensation through your arms. Perhaps noticing your breath is with you, ebbs and flows, comes and goes. Then in your own time, perhaps finding your way back to kneeling. And if you like, exploring this form on your other side, maybe stepping forward with your opposite foot, arranging your arms in a way that's useful for you, maybe on your knee, perhaps the floor, or perhaps out in front. And breathing. So if you're on your chair, you may like to switch, perhaps exploring this from your other side, so maybe turning around. If you like, holding your chair, perhaps dropping your knee and breathing. Arranging your arms in a way that's useful for you. So if you like, exploring your lunge, perhaps noticing that you're breathing, that your breath is with you, ebbs and flows, comes and goes, and it's always there. Finding your way back to your neutral in your own time, maybe sitting back on your ankles, perhaps resting your forehead on your hands and breathing. You may like to move, perhaps noticing where you make contact with the ground. You're allowed to move whenever you like. Another option could be to extend your arms and breathe in. And in your own time, maybe finding your way onto all fours. And if you like, moving your torso. So a few options here. One could be moving your torso in circles. Another could be moving your torso forward and back. Maybe moving your torso towards the back of your mat or to the front of the mat. Apologies for that noise, I thought my phone was off. Another choice could be moving your torso from one side of your mat to the other side. And if you are seated, maybe moving your torso. You might choose to do big circles or little circles. So you get to choose how much you want to move. Maybe moving your torso in circles and breathing. Finding your way back to neutral in your own time, perhaps moving into your resting form. If you like, bringing your elbows to your knees, perhaps resting your forehead on your hands. If you are seated on your mat or working from your mat, maybe sitting back on your ankles, perhaps resting your forehead in your hands and breathing. Then in your own time, finding your way back to all fours or upright, and perhaps exploring cats and cows. So if you're seated, maybe lengthening through your front torso and perhaps looking up. In your own time, maybe tucking your chin, curling your spine and looking down. You might feel sensation in your abdomen or maybe your spine, always knowing it's quite normal to feel nothing at all. So if you like, maybe dipping your spine, lifting your chin and looking up. And in your own rhythm, maybe curling your spine, tucking your chin and looking down. So you get to explore the movement in your own rhythm. And you may like to coordinate your breathing with your movement, perhaps breathing in as you move in one direction and possibly breathing out as you move in another. So breathing and moving. Finding your way to resting in your own time, possibly sitting back on your ankles, maybe resting your forehead on your hands and breathing. If it's of interest, maybe extending your arms. So from here, you may like to move into, let's turn around the other way, to sometimes what we call is a squat. So there's a few options. So maybe using your hands, pressing back. So you're bending your knees, possibly in a squat form and breathing. So another choice could be to bring your hands to your chair, maybe bending your knees. So perhaps experimenting with bending your knees and breathing. If you're seated, what you may like to do is bring one knee towards your torso, perhaps wrapping your hands around your knee. At any time switching and breathing. If you're interested, perhaps moving to the front of your chair, and if you like, lifting both knees and breathing. So you're finding your squatting form or possibly bending your knees. And in your own time, maybe finding your way to lying on your back on your mat. So if you like, lying on your back, if you're interested, extending your legs and possibly lifting and lowering your arms. Knowing how much you lift and lower, it's up to you. And maybe moving your arms and breathing. Finding your way back to your neutral. And if you're interested, perhaps the last form for today is moving your knees. So if you like, lifting your feet off the ground, perhaps bringing your hands around your knees and moving your knees. Maybe from one side to your other side. Maybe from one side of your mat to the other side of your mat. And you get to choose how fast or slow you want to move. The last form for today. And then if you like, move, if you're seated, moving your knees, maybe individually, or together. What on earth happened? I don't know why that happened. I don't know how much you have lost, but the screen just went blank. So, sorry about that. That's perplexing. I'm hoping it wasn't because I ran out of charge. Anyway, wherever you are, maybe moving your knees and breathing. And then for the last part of the practice, I'm intending and offering a extended body scan exercise. So in doing this, you're welcome to prepare yourself in whatever way you like. So a couple of options could be, I'm going to show a couple of options. So if you've got a couple of cushions, you may like to maybe lying on your side, like with your leg resting on a cushion or a pillow, and perhaps covering yourself with a rug. Maybe putting something over your eyes if you want to soften the light on your eyes. Another option could be to use a cushion under your knees, maybe a cushion under your head for support. If you like, even a pillow or a rug to support your hands. So finding a way that's useful for you. Another option, and this is an old sarong that I've folded up, but you can use a towel, perhaps rolling this up in a small roll. If you like, putting it where your spine is going to lie. We wiggle to get it straight. And breathe in. So if you like, rolling a small towel up and putting it between your shoulder blades and breathing. Finding your resting form. If you're seated on a chair, you might like to put a cushion under your feet, possibly a cushion on your lap, maybe resting your hands on a cushion. And in your own time, perhaps bringing your awareness to notice that you're breathing, that your breath is with you. Ebbs and flows, comes and goes, and it's always there. As you breathe in, as you breathe out, you might like to bring your awareness to notice where you make contact with the ground, perhaps moving, maybe looking. Perhaps bringing your awareness to notice the support of the surface beneath you. So our body scan exercise, you're always welcome to tune out. If you do want to take your mind to that part, you're welcome to do that. You could also take your hand to that part, or maybe moving that part. It's up to you. This is your practice and your choice. So the body scan exercise will last probably about 7 minutes, and then I'll offer an opportunity for you to close your practice. And just there'll be a light sneeze. Oh dear. Hiccups today. So in your own time, maybe bring your awareness to notice sensation at your eyebrow center, the tip of your nose, sensation in your jaw, sensation in your neck, sensation in your right shoulder, your right elbow, your right wrist, sensation at the tip of your right hand thumb, your index finger, tip of your right tall finger, tip of your ring finger, tip of your little finger, sensation in your right wrist, your right elbow, the whole of your right shoulder, sensation in your neck, sensation in your left shoulder, sensation in your left elbow, sensation in your left wrist, sensation at the tip of your left hand thumb, your left hand index finger, tip of your tall finger, tip of your ring finger, tip of your little finger, your left hand wrist, your left hand elbow. Sensation in the whole of your left shoulder. Sensation in your neck. Aroha, sensation in your heart center. Sensation in your right ribs. Sensation in your heart center. Sensation in your left ribs. sensation in your heart center, Aroha, sensation in your upper abdomen, sensation in your lower abdomen, sensation in the whole of your right hip joint, sensation in the whole of your right knee, your right ankle, your right great toe, your second toe, the tip of your third toe, the tip of your fourth toe, and tip of your little toe, your right ankle, the whole of your right knee joint, the whole of your right hip joint, your lower abdomen, your left hip joint, the whole of your left hip joint, the whole of your left knee, the whole of your left ankle, tip of your left great toe, your second toe, the tip of your third toe, the tip of your fourth toe, and the tip of your fifth toe, your little toe. Sensation in your left ankle, sensation in the whole of your left knee, sensation in your left hand hip joint, the whole of your left hip joint, sensation in your lower abdomen, sensation in your back torso, the whole of your back torso, sensation in the whole of your front torso, sensation in your lower abdomen, sensation in your upper abdomen, sensation in your heart center, Aroha, sensation in your neck, sensation at the back of your head, sensation in your neck, sensation in your jaw, sensation in your right cheek, sensation in your left cheek, sensation at the tip of your nose, sensation in your right eye, the whole of your right eye, sensation in the whole of your left eye, sensation at your eyebrow center, sensation in the whole of your body, all of your body, sensation in your entire body all together. I'll offer some silence now, and then I'll ring the chime and give you an opportunity to close your practice. So do know there's no hurry to move. When you do want to move, maybe wriggling your fingers and toes. If you're on your mat, perhaps moving to your side for a short time. If you like, taking a moment to acknowledge your practice. And perhaps that was to nurture yourself or connect with yourself. So in your own time, perhaps finding the words to acknowledge your practice, to acknowledge you. So thank you for practicing with me on this sunny Sunday. And I look forward to practicing with you tomorrow again at 12 midday. Take care, travel safe. Ka kite ana.